Okay, let's have a look at Labelled with Love by Squeeze. We're just going to have a look at the first part of the verse where it's just two chords, and when it goes further than that then we'll look at them chords. But at the moment the most part of it is E and B7. So if we look at an E chord, E major, put your first finger here on the 3rd string, 1st fret, put these two up here on the 4th and 5th string, and that'll give you an E major. Okay. Now to get a B7, I want you to switch over your 1st and 3rd finger. So I want you to keep the 2nd finger where it is. Watch this. See there? They're switching over. So that's your E. And to get a B7, you move that there and strum from the 5th. Oh, sorry. What I would do is I'd put my thumb there on the top to cut that note off, so you got freedom to just strum everything. And then when you got the E, release the thumb. Now we are going to do something called root and fifth, which is an effect you can put on the chords rather than just strumming the chords like that. You can put on this effect called root and fifth, and it's where you play the first of the chord, the root of it, and then you play the 5th note within the chord. So going up the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the root of an E, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up a major scale. There's your 5th. Now the 5th is nothing to do with the 5th string or the 5th fret. It's to do with the 5th degree of the major scale. So I don't expect you to fully know all your major scales and stuff, so I'm going to tell you what the 5th is, so the root and the 5th. So here's how it's going to sound. So you can see you got that dum 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 dum. That is a root and 5th feel. So if anyone says that to you, you know what it is. Okay, so that's on the E. See there? Oh, actually, we're going to do root and 5th in a bit. We're just going to play. We're just going to strum it for now and get used to the chords. So there's your E, there's your B7. Okay. So I'm going to start here. So it starts on a B7. So B7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. To the verse. She unscrews the top of a new whiskey bottle, shuffles about in a candlelit hovel, like some kind of witch with blue fingers and mittens. She smells like a cat and the neighbors she sickens. The black and white TV has long seen a picture. The cross of the road is a permanent fixture. The postman delivers the final reminder. She sells off a silver and it goes poodles in China. I'll explain what that is in a bit. Yeah, there also was a little E7 chord in there, so if you're unfamiliar with that, when you got your E, if you take off your 3rd finger, that's an E7, so it makes it sound a bit more country. Okay, so let's have a look at the poodles in China. So you got here poodles in China. So you can see it's an A, and you can see this dash G sharp and dash F sharp and then to E. So we'll forget the E at the end. So the dash G sharp means you're going to play an A but with a G sharp in the root, and the dash F sharp means you're going to play an A chord but with an F sharp in the root. So what does that mean? So you got an A, and then you need an A with a G sharp in the root. So if that's your G, that's a G sharp. So that wouldn't be very practical to be stretching like that. So what I do with the A is I just cover all them 3 strings there with one finger there. So strum there. And then you can lift up your little finger up there to the 4th fret on the top string. That's your G sharp. So you can see you're playing an A chord with a G sharp in the root. And then you got an F sharp, which is here in the 2nd fret on the top. So I'm going to use my 2nd finger here. And you still got your A there. So you got A over G sharp, over F sharp, and then to the E chord. So I can just show you on some chord boxes what that would look like if I scroll down here. I'll show you the right-handed and quickly show you the left-handed. So here's your A chord here, and you can see that to get to the A over G sharp, your little finger, your fourth finger goes to the top string. You can pause this if it helps. An A over F sharp, your second finger's on the top. But all in all, on each one of these chords, you can see your first finger is barring them 3 strings. Now you're probably not going to hear that first string, you're probably going to be muting it, so don't worry about that. Okay, so there's left-handed. For anyone who's left-handed, you see is your A over G sharp, your little finger at the top, and your second finger at the top there for the A over F sharp. So if I was to show you that little bit at the end now, and it goes, the timing goes with the lyrics. Got so poodles in China, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So poodles in China, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's jump through that one more time, and then we're going to do root and fifth. So from the, I tell you what, let's ditch the intro. Let's go from the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. She unscrews the top of a new whiskey bottle, shuffles about in a candlelit hovel, like some kind of witch with blue fingers and mittens. She smells like a cat, and the neighbors she sickens. The black and white TV has long seen a picture. E7 cross on the wall is a permanent fixture. The postman delivers the final reminders. She sells all the silver and poodles in China. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna, let's do a root and fifth feel. So on the first bar, so you can see with just one lot of 4, you're going to be doing the root, the chord, and then the fifth, and then the chord. So it's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just 4 beats. So the root on an E chord is the 6th string there. You pluck that, then the chord. So when you do the chord, don't strum all 6, because it'll get muddy with the bass. You want separation, you want bass, chord, bass. So bass, and then the fifth in this scale is actually on the 5th string there. So you pluck that, and then the chord. So root, so I said that this is 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want to make a point of when you see something with 2 beats, because you can see this E on the second line is 4 beats, and then this is 2 beats of E. So with that, you're just going to go root, chord. So whenever you see a clump of 2, you're just going to go root, chord. Right, so let's have a look at B7, what the root and fifth is there. So we're here. The root here is on the 5th string, so you're going to hit that. Now with this, you've actively got to move your second finger up to the top. See there? That's going to be my root, that's my 5th. So the 5th is actually on the 6th string. So root, chord, then 5th. So you see it gives you that same feel. It doesn't matter if the 5th note is below, is a deeper note, okay? It's nothing to do with that, it's just about being the first note of the scale and the 5th note of the scale. So B, root, root, 5th, root, 5th, chord, root, chord, 5th. Okay, so you can see there on this B7 you've got 2 beats. So what do you do with that? You just go root, chord. Now you can see on the next line you've got the B7 with a clump of 4, so you got to start that with the root. Okay, so you wouldn't go root chord on this B7 and then jump to the 5th chord, you know, the 5th bass note. So you got to go root chord, and then you start root chord, 5th chord again there, and root chord, 5th again. So from the B7 you're going root, chord, then the next line, the 3rd line down, you start root chord again, root, chord, then move it up to the 5th, Okay, hopefully that makes sense, because you don't want to be starting a new line on the second bass note you play, you know, that fifth note. You want to always start a new line on the root. It'll make sense. I'm sure when you try it, and if you make that mistake, you'll hear something doesn't quite sound right. Okay, so let's go for root chord, fifth chord on the E. So root chord, fifth chord. Second line down, so root chord, and on the E is root chord, and then B7. And then the third line you start on the root chord, and then fifth chord. Last line is B7, and then there's 2 beats, so it's just root chord, and then to E is root chord, because you see that's just 2 beats. So singing that with the actual root and fifth, if you're struggling with that, just strum along. It really doesn't matter, but sometimes it's nice to make some interesting parts. So she unscrews the top of the new whiskey bottle, shuffles around in a candlelit hovel, like some kind of witch with blue fingers and minnows. She smells like a can, and the neighbors she sickens. The black and white TV has long seen a picture. The cross on the wall is a permanent fixture. The postman delivers the final reminders. She sells off the silver and poodles in China. Root, fifth. Okay, so you can see there, that E there with 2 beats. When I went to the next E in the next little paragraph, I'd start on the root again. So that's root chord, and then you start in root chord again. Okay, so let's just have a little look at the chorus. So we've got an F sharp minor here. So F sharp minor, bar in the 2nd fret, and then playing an E minor shape here. So this might be a bit advanced really if you're not used to bar chords, but just get used to that. You've got to get this bar straight here and here. If you're used to open chords, you might have your thumb up here and it'll cause your finger to be bent. So you've got to sort of pull your wrist under to make that straight. So if your finger's bent like that, you've got to put your wrist under, try and make it straight as you can. You should be able to hear every note, and then put the E minor shape on. So you're treating it how you would do an E minor here, like that, with a fret gap there. So there. And the root you would treat this just as you would do the E, so root, and then your fifth would be on the next string. So root, chord, fifth. And you can hear it's giving you the same effect. Okay. So I'm just going to play through this, and you can just keep going over it if you want. So from the E, drinks to remember, I'm me and myself, winds of the clock and knocks dust from the shelf. Home is the love that I miss very much, and the past has been bottled and labeled with love. Okay, so I hope that sort of explains how the song goes, the root and fifth. If you want the full chart with this, just message me and I'll send it over to you. And it's a great fun song to play, great lyrics, great band, nice chords as well. So it's got everything, this song. It's good fun to play, never get bored of it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.